Yo, it's your boy D-Lo from the Go. Now let's talk some NBA. Let's get right to it. Now, let me just set the record straight. When John Wall, a lot of y'all, first off, let's talk about who John Wall is. In case y'all don't know who it is, do y'all homework on John Wall. John Wall, look up his high school mixtape if you've never seen him. Best high school tape you probably gonna ever see. Brandon Jennings is right up there. What's some other real good ones? Michael Porter Jr. Y'all know some other ones, Derrick Rose, but John Wall, to me, by far had the best high school mixtape, like phenom. But let me tell you about Wall. He was my second favorite player when he was in the NBA, when he was healthy, but there was a point I didn't like him. Here's why. But I'm going to get into that. We're going to go back to John Wall. Obviously, number one overall pick, number one in the country. When he was in college or whatever at Kentucky, I felt like he wasn't the best player. Most talented for sure, but I felt like Evan Turner was the best player in the world, in the country. Can't say world because that's NBA, in the country. And he won National Player of the Year that season. Took Ohio State. Remember that big shot he hit against Michigan to win the tournament, and that damn near half court. And when he came back from breaking his back, man, he was a triple-double machine. But back to John Wall. John Wall drafted. They both was drafted 2010. John Wall went number one to the Wizards. Evan Turner went number two to Philly. I always felt like Turner, I don't know why. I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I felt like the bias in me, Turner being from Chicago, I felt like he should have been number one. But, you know how it go. But okay, so let me tell y'all the story why I didn't like John. Despite all the hype and everything was going on, I watched him take Kentucky to the Elite Eight with DeMarcus Cousins. Damn good player. Great. Compared to Derrick Rose, me being from Chicago, watching the Bulls, watching Rose since he was at Simeon, obviously, I'm like, let me see what Wall is about. Hearing about him on the block from the homies. But then I had moved to North Carolina, so I heard about him even more because that's where he's from. You know what I'm saying? My best friend from NC, shout out my boy E, he was telling me about him and stuff like, yeah, this dude. So I'm like, all right, cool, let's see what's up. They're like, yeah, he could be better than Rose, though. So I'm like, all right, Chicago was all about Rose at that time. So season went on, boom. He was the number one pick. We knew that was going to happen. He went to the Wizards. They still had Gilbert Arenas at the time, but basketball positionless anyway, none of that matters. And plus, he's a way better playmaker than you. Go watch Gilbert's podcast, his interview, when he said, his famous quote, I decided to step back for the future so I could have a future, or some way he worded it, but that was real. Obviously Gilbert had the gun incident and all that, but whatever. That's a different story. So I moved to NC to stay with my people. So like I said, you heard it even more. But my uncle stayed in Maryland, which happened to be where John Wall drafted. Now, my mind everywhere. I'm going through times at this one, trying to find myself, trying to figure out my career. Still basically pretty much in high school because I was doing homeschooling at that time because I got kicked. I went to 6 different high schools, and I got kicked out of one, my last one, for a big brawl. So I was able to take my work with me and travel and do my homework while I was out of state. Now, this is where the dislike for Wall came. But, so my uncle was like, yeah, why don't you come out here for Thanksgiving? So I'm like, cool. Now I go out there for Thanksgiving a week earlier or something like that. I don't remember the exact time, but I went out there to stay with my uncle for some time. Excuse me. So we go out there, right? I go out there. I'm on a train now. You do the measurements. Obviously, the train got their stops, but it don't take that long from North Carolina to D.C. My train was hella delayed. Like they said, we was going through a serious delay. I'm talking hours. So I'm waking up like, dang, I'm still on here. I ain't had no phone at the time either. I didn't have a phone. So Now I'm trying to, so that made it even worse. Now I'm trying to contact people. Hey man, can I use your phone, please? Can I use your phone? Contact people, get in touch with my uncle and this and that. Cause I got to keep him informed on what's going on. Cause I know he wondering like, man, why we not, you know what I'm saying? Why he not here? He ended up being at the train station for hours too. After he just worked this shift. Now, obviously you hear people talking because you want to see what's going on and what they saying. Oh yeah, this the Wizards home opener. Yeah, John Wall. They just drafted that boy John Wall. So I'm thinking, this man right here. So I ended up being hella delayed to get to where I was going because of John Wall. And I was so tired and I wasn't too happy. So I had a petty dislike for Wall at the time. It was funny. You know, I was younger. You know how that stuff. We had a petty dislike for him. Not a serious one, but man, this dude Wall and this and that. You know, you secretly, man, forget this guy. You know how you be in your mind. But it was never nothing serious. It was a petty dislike. But Wall, when he was healthy, was one of my favorite players. I actually felt like at his peak, he was a top 3-point guard in the league after Russell and Stephen Curry. But yeah, I felt like he was the best point guard in the East for some seasons too. But yeah, that's my petty dislike for John Wall. I got a homie though who actually got a real dislike for him. Say they almost fought in high school or whatever, and that's funny. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed my little petty story. Catch y'all on the next one. We out.